Today, we be making this very simple card. It is called an Easel style card. This card is amazing for when you want to make a quick card for a friend, but still you want it to be elegant. In this video, I'll show you how to make this card to be tasty and very solid. Here are the materials needed. You can pause the video at this time if you want to and ensure that you have all the materials before we begin. So let's start. So first off, measure a wide Bristol board 11 inches in length and 4.8 inches in width. Cut out that wide Bristol board. Measure another wide Bristol board, the same length and width, 11 inches in length and 4.8 inches in width. Cut out that wide Bristol board. Taking our green paper, measure such, the same length and width as the wide Bristol boards we just cut out. Length 11 inches and 4.8 inches in width. Cut out that green paper. Then measure another green paper, the same length and width as the wide Bristol board we just cut out. Length 11 inches and 4.8 inches in width. Cut out that green paper. So now we have two pieces of wide Bristol boards and two green paper cut at the same length and width. Taking one of the wide Bristol board, place glue on the surface and stick the other wide Bristol board on top of that one. Crease those two Bristol boards together well. Taking those two wide Bristol boards we just stuck together, place glue on one of the surface. Then stick one of the green paper we cut out on those Bristol boards. Then place glue on the other side of those wide Bristol boards and green paper we stuck together and stick the other green paper on that other side of the Bristol boards and green paper. Crease those Bristol boards and green paper together really well, making them one. Place such Bristol boards and green papers we stuck together in a book and allow to dry. After it dries, inspect that big green rectangular strip and trim off any extra edges of the wide Bristol board, if there are any. Next, draw two lines using the back of the knife. From the end of the green rectangle as shown, draw one line at 5.5 inches from the end of the rectangle. The other line should be drawn at 2.75 inches from the end of the green rectangle. Then fold on those lines as shown. First, make a valley fold in the center 5.5 line. Crease the line really well. Next, make a mountain fold on the 2.75 line as shown. Ensure the line is straight. Then crease the line well. Now to decorate the card. Taking a scrap paper, measure it at length 4 and width 5 3/8 inches. Cut out that scrap paper. Place dots at 1/16 of an inch from the top, bottom, and side of the biggest part of the inside of the rectangle. Those are guiding dots. Place the scrap paper that we just cut out on a gift paper of your choice and draw that shape of the scrap paper. Cut out that shape. Place glue on that gift paper we just cut out and stick it between those guiding dots on the biggest rectangular part of the card as shown. Taking another scrap paper, measure it at length 2.58 inches and width 4 inches. cut out that scrap paper. Next, place dots at 1/16 of an inch from the top, bottom, and sides of the middle and the top part of the card as shown. Next, place the scrap paper that we just cut out on a gift paper of your choice and draw out two of that shape of the scrap paper. Cut out those shapes of the gift paper. Place glue on one of the gift paper we cut out, then stick it in the middle part of the card between the dots. Then place glue on the other gift paper we cut out, then stick it on the end of the card between the dots as shown. Ensure all the gift papers are stuck down really well on the card. Next, taking a wide Bristol board, measure two rectangles at length 2 and width 4 inches. Cut out those two Bristol boards. Then measure green paper the same size as the Bristol boards we just cut out, length 2 and width 4 inches. Cut out that green paper. Place glue on the surface of one of the Bristol board we cut out and stick the other Bristol board on top of that one. Then place glue on top of those Bristol boards we just stuck together and stick the small green paper on top of those Bristol boards. Trim off any extra edges if there are any. Then measure centimeter you may want at length 1 7/8 inches and width 3 7/8 inches. Cut out that centimeter. Place 1/16 dots from the top, bottom and side of the green paper and Bristol boards we just stuck together. Place glue on the centimeter and stick it between those guiding dots. Taking our wide Bristol board, measure two rectangles at length 1 1/8 and width 3 1/8 inches. Cut out those rectangles. Next, take a green paper and measure the same length and width, length 1 1/8 and width 3 1/8 inches. Cut out that green paper. Place glue on one of the small Bristol board we just cut out and stick the other small Bristol board on top of that one. Next, place glue on the Bristol boards we just stuck together and stick the small green paper on top of those Bristol boards. Trim off any extra edges of the wide Bristol boards and green paper. Then measure centimeter you may want at length 1 inch and width 3 inches. Cut out that centimeter. Erase any pencil lines if there are any. Measure another wide Bristol board the same length and width as the centimeter we just cut out, length 1 and width 3 inches. Cut out that wide Bristol board. Place glue on a centimeter and stick it onto the wide Bristol board we just cut out. Trim off any extra edges of the wide Bristol board. Place 1/16 dots from the top, bottom and side of the green paper and Bristol boards we just stuck together. Place double-sided tape on a centimeter and stick it between those guiding dots on the green paper and Bristol board we are stuck together. The card is taking shape well. We are going to stick the part of the centimeter on the card. To do that, place the big centimeter where you want it to be and place the small centimeter where you want it to be, and mark the positions of the big centimeters on the card using a pencil. Then place glue on a part of the big centimeter that you would be sticking on the card. Then stick the big centimeter on the card as shown. Ensure that the big centimeter line up with an even space on either side of the sentiment. Next, place the small sentiment where you want it to be, and mark the position of the small sentiment on the card using a pencil. Then place double-sided tape to the back of the small sentiment. After, place another layer of double-sided tape on top the double-sided tape already stuck on a small sentiment. Then stick such sentiment between the pencil marks that you had made. Now let's place the final piece of the card. In the corner of the sentiment, I want to put a big blue beautiful butterfly. But you don't have to put a big butterfly. You can just add 2 small flowers or so on the opposite ends of the big sentiment. If you want to add a beautiful butterfly like me, cut out the butterfly from a gift paper. I cut out an additional butterfly in order to make a card similar to this one later on. Place glue on the butterfly we cut out and stick it on a small piece of white Bristol board the same size as the butterfly image. Then place glue on that white Bristol board with the butterfly and stick it on another small piece of white Bristol board the same size as the butterfly image. Crease down the papers well. Next, cut out the exact shape of the butterfly. If you want, you can put the butterfly in a heavy book to dry. After the butterfly dries, you can decide where you want the butterfly. Once it is not covering the sentiments or preventing the card from standing up well, I want it on top the sentiment. After deciding where you want your image, place double-sided tape on the back of the butterfly and stick it in the corner of the sentiment. Place additional double-sided tape to stabilize the butterfly. And that is it. Well done with God's help. Your Easel style card is completed. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.